Well, good Monday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It is early Monday morning. It is before 6 a.m. I've been like a kid at Christmas. I could not sleep. I've been awake since about 4 o'clock, and I've got the car ready to go to the airport because we are headed for Oxnard. You know, oh my goodness. You know, it's funny because, you know, in life, you are going to have roadblocks in front of you. And not everything worthwhile is easy. In fact, most things that are worthwhile are damn hard. Those who find ways around roadblocks are, generally speaking, the ones that are successful. Because we ultimately, every day, are faced with those obstacles, and it's how you maneuver your way through it. I, in my life, have had multiple roadblocks in front of me, but I find ways to work around them. And we'll see how well all of this works out here today. I'm still amazed that I actually was able to work this out to get to California for Oxnard training camp, and I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to bring you some of the sights and sounds. And this will be the last broadcast until I get back on Saturday morning from Oxnard, from here. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully we're going to have some great coverage for you guys. Of course, it'll probably be the blackout between getting on the plane and landing in L.A. Between like 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m. Eastern time. And sometime in that window, allegedly around 9 o'clock today, 3 hours or so from now, we'll hear the judge's decision in arbitration for the Deshaun Watson case. The NFLPA says, you know, Roger, we're not going to appeal any decision. We're going to just let the judge do what they want to do, because I think they're thinking that it's going to be a lighter sentence. In the end, the court of Roger Goodell can go through and say, well, that's great that that's what you came up in arbitration, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 1 year. And the thing I will say on this one is, you can't fight City Hall. You can't fight City Hall. We saw that with Tom Brady, and of course with his suspension in Deflategate. Tom Brady couldn't win against Roger Goodell. We saw that with Zeke Elliott, with Jerry Jones backing, and his attorneys could not win against Roger Goodell. And I don't think that Deshaun Watson will be. In fact, when you think about Colin Kaepernick and everything that went on in there, you go against the NFL, it's going to be a lose for you. It's just, that's the way it is. This is not a democracy. It is Roger Goodell working for the owners to what they want. We'll see what happens in that situation and where it goes from there. Today for the Dallas Cowboys, it is a huge day, because today the pads go on and the live hitting starts after they've had yesterday off. It will be great to be out there and seeing the big guys start to hit and things, because, you know, I love the fat boys, okay? I officially am saying Hot Boys is dead. We are now going to the Fat Boys are back. So, Jerry Jones commented on the future of Mike McCarthy and Zeke Elliott in an interview, and I want to bring that this morning before I get out of here and head for the airport.
Successful season for you?
Well, I need to win it. I need to win it.
But for the team, a viable playoff run would be a success.
I want to be fair to everybody concerned. We need to be in the playoffs. We need to be viable in the playoffs.
Why is that standard different?
As the owner, then I need to win a Super Bowl. It's been a long time, and
A damn long
I
time.
need to do it from that perspective. To be fair, though, to all the constituents involved in putting together the team as general manager, if we get in there, we must improve what we're doing in the playoffs. And if we get in there and we play well and advance big in the playoffs, I can call that a success. And I would do that if I were looking at a coach or a player. But from the standpoint of the overall picture, and frankly, I feel that way for the fans, we need to win one. It's been a long time, they're right, and we need to get one.
From an overall organizational messaging standpoint, you guys have come off as a little sensitive when it comes to people in the media talking about Mike McCarthy being on the hot seat. But Jerry, you have said you don't have time to have a bad time. So why can't we go with the notion that it's produce or else for the head coach?
Everybody appreciates being on the incentive plan. But it's not in the best interest for, in my mind, to be perceived that our head coach wasn't on a sound foundation. That's not good. Mike has a multi-year contract. He's got multi-years after this year. So he's as sound as it gets. He's won a Super Bowl, which counts a lot. His players, his staff around him know it. This is our best chance to win this year a Super Bowl, is to have Mike McCarthy as the coach. And I want to get that straight once and for all. I know that my body language, I know that my choice of a phrase, phraseology, or what have you, can create some different thought or create some uneasiness there. I did do some of that early in the first few weeks because we were having a lot of competition for our staff. And I wanted other teams to know that they could be competing against a head coaching situation for some of those guys too. So I didn't want anything a given, and so that's the way I played the cards. But Mike is our best chance. I wanted to establish that.
Zeke Elliott has seen a little bit of decline in production. How important is this year for Zeke's overall future with the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, of course, we know what Dak means, but I'm right there, close with him with Zeke. Zeke's success will have a lot to say about our offensive line. So when Zeke's not running, usually you can look in there and you're not getting it out of the offensive line like you'd like to have it either.
Sure.
It is important for us, for Zeke, to be the proverbial war daddy. It really is.
The war daddy.
It's important for us to emphasize it, live and die with the success of being able to, at our will, get everything out of Zeke. Now, that'll open it up for a lot of other things, and we will have a lot of production. And of course, Pollard's got to get the ball more, and he will.
At the State of the Team press conference, when we talked about the tough year you've had, the organization has gone through scandal, you've had to go through some personal scandal yourself. Your quote was, after 30 years with the Cowboys, it's almost like you feel like Herschel Walker running and they're just bouncing off. With all due respect, Jerry, it came off as cavalier. Tell me why it wasn't cavalier.
Well, it's how I handle it. Anybody that doesn't think that I'm serious when I'm being criticized, or really when I'm being attacked, can I say that? First of all, I put it over in context, and I look at what everybody does at TV. And I can see people all over the world that make that little stuff going on in my life look small. And I count my blessings right there. And then, as I've said, if I don't have enough oomph to handle that stuff that's coming at me. But more importantly than anything, I'm afraid that if I complain too much, lightning would strike me because I've had it too good. I really can't complain. And he's been really good to me up there. So I want to look at them, get them in the eye. In this particular case right now, we had a bunch of it load up in this off season. I want everybody to get everything they've got. Let's fill the tub up with it. I want to come in and let's drain the tub. Let's get it all done, because I got about 10 more years left, and I don't want to screw around with the past. I just want to be looking at the front.
You have built the most profitable sports franchise in the world. You have untold riches. What still motivates you, and how do you convey that sense of urgency to your players and your coaching staff?
I got to be with the Dallas Cowboys, and I used an unbelievable circumstance financially to get to own the team.
Jerry.
So I had that and gave it all up to be with the future of the Dallas Cowboys and the team. And I've run as hard as I can run since that happened.
But you added you some value there. This will be a takeaway. You're getting this part now.
I absolutely have my greatest days sitting in this chair talking to you out here at this camp right here. And I've got some other days that look pretty good. But this is where it's means the most to me.
Wait, this is better than the yacht, Jerry?
This is better than the yacht to Jerry Jones. It is. And when I walk in that room back there that I've been going in for about 20 years, and it feels like a college dorm, what have you, then I feel real good at that time. Now, if somebody told me I had to stay in that room all the time, it wouldn't be as much interesting to me as being able to walk out the door. But still, this is it. This is what I want to be a part of, and I want to use whatever energy I have or whatever means I have because of the way it inspires me to do the best we can do to win games with the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Gotta like that. So Jerry Jones, he admits, he says, I've got about 10 years left. It reminds me of my Aunt Mabel. I used to cut her grass and rake the leaves and stuff. She had 10 acres of land. About 6 of it was wood, but the rest of it, it'd take about 6 hours to cut it on a riding lawnmower. But every year, what she would say to me is, you're not going to have to worry about this next year because I won't be around anymore. I think I heard that for about 20 years. And so I'm not going to say Jerry Jones how much time he's got left, but that sure reminded me of my Aunt Mabel. But Jerry does recognize that time is getting short and says, hey, Mike McCarthy, being in the position that he is and bringing back Dan Quinn, make no mistake about it. Let's be clear. If we only brought back Mike McCarthy without Dan Quinn, I don't think that I would be as excited or as high on the Dallas Cowboys as I am. That may have been the best move for the offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's be clear here. Dan Quinn, what he did with that defense, the way those guys buy in, the way you see the love from guys like Micah Parsons, that is huge. Half of the problem when you're trying to come up with a solution is getting people to buy in to what you are doing. If people believe something will work or believe in something, you can damn sure believe that they believe that they're going to accomplish it. If you have people that don't believe in what we're doing and say it's some bullshit, then that's exactly what you're going to get out of it, some bullshit. So having Mike McCarthy with Dan Quinn definitely increases the odds of a better season than without. Who knows what the season will hold? You know, we can listen to all of the talking heads out there that'll tell us, you know, this team is going to do that, this team's going to do that. Well, guess what? They had people who were saying that the Washington Commanders were going to be the best team, one of the best teams in the NFC, and that the Cincinnati Bengals were about the 27th best team. How'd they do with that, huh? How'd they do with that? It sucked. So let's see what happens. I like what I've been hearing coming out of the Dallas Cowboys camp. Of course, you know, typically this time of year things are shaded and they always want to promote the best things that are happening. But I've been hearing things that don't sound quite as good from some of our rivals' camps. Now, maybe, you know, it's still early in training camp. There's still time to right the ships and things like that. But I'd rather start from a position where we are now. And make no mistake about it. This time last year, our quarterback couldn't throw in training camp. His shoulder was thrown out coming off a catastrophic leg injury. Our number one wide receiver was on the PUP list in Amari Cooper. Our, at the time, best defensive player was on the PUP list in DeMarcus Lawrence. We are starting heads and tails further along this year than we were last year. That's not to say we don't have some problems, that we don't have some holes, and that we're not going to face adversity going through training camp. Unfortunately, injuries happen. Let's knock on wood and hope that we can keep them minimized. And that being said, I got to get ready to get to the airport because we are heading on that big old jet airliner to Oxnard. Hope you guys follow along. Jobu, he got a new do to start the season. Just like the Cowboys, I hope it's a little bit wild. I'll see you guys later.
Coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.